Let's go back to where it all began. The original Galaxy Fold versus the Galaxy Z Fold 8. Let's go. When Samsung launched the original Galaxy Fold back in 2019, they were a lot closer than they thought to the peak foldable form factor they've achieved now with the Galaxy Z Fold 8. Obviously, when I say that they were closer than you think, I'm taking some liberties here. But let's actually take a look at where the similarities are, because there are some. I'm going to cover everything. Design, cover screen, inner display, cameras, software, and just see where we land. Starting with design. Obviously, there's a lot that Samsung have improved on over the last 7 years. Starting with the thickness, the original Fold was a thick boy. The hinge, especially when you have a look at that view, that thing was thick, THICC. When you compare it to the Fold 8, now whilst it's not Samsung's thinnest foldable, you can drastically see how much it's removed and how much weight and thickness has come off from the original Fold to the latest one. It's kind of crazy when you consider that they actually are considered the same category when you look at how dated the original Fold is compared to it. But whilst the thickness of the hinge, you can see a difference, there's actually similarities between the two hinges. The hinge on the original Fold was a bit of a floppy mess. You could just flick it around and it would just flop in the wind like crazy. Once the Fold was open, there was no point that it was actually strong enough to hold itself there. It would just flap around like a bird. You had to firmly, intentionally snap it open. That way it could stay there and it locked itself into place. The Fold 8, obviously when you open it, there is some points where it can be strong enough to sustain itself there. But once it goes past a certain point, it just wants to fall into the flat position. There is no way to keep it there. I think Samsung missed a bit of a trick here with Fold 8 to not put flex mode on there. I'm not sure why. Maybe they didn't see the hinge being strong enough, but in any case, it's just not supported, and that's where the similarities between these two hinges are. They both don't have flex mode. The rest of the design differences are purely down to where Samsung were with their designs at the time. The original Fold had the glossy glass back, and then you had frosted. The original Fold had the glossy glass back. The original Fold had the glossy glass, very, very reflective back cover, and the new Fold has got the frosted glass one. Back then you had rounded corners and rounded sides, versus now we have more squarish corners and flat sides. Where we start to really see a difference though is cover screens. This is where they truly start to separate. The original Fold is like a toy. There's no other real way to describe it. It just doesn't look real. A small TV remote style with comically large borders and bezels. And the thing is, these bezels were never even small by any standard. Not when smartphones were introduced and not when they were at their peak. There's just absolutely no reason for them to be this big. Samsung had an idea as to why. It was down to the fact that they wanted that to be the quick interaction screen, and they wanted to force users to open the phone up to the big inner display. It was a behavior they were trying to set, but it's just tiny and ridiculously tiny. It's 95% functionality of a regular smartphone with about 50% of the screen real estate that you normally would have. The thing is, the Fold 8, its screen size isn't that much bigger. It's only a little bit taller, but it is substantially wider. And that's where it offers something completely different, because you still get that height from the smartphone that makes it easy to reach one-handed, but it also gives you the width where you can actually do things more comfortably on it. The software is scaled nicely, and if you have Good Lock installed, you can really extend that functionality out as well. Because of that extra width, typing becomes a lot easier. The original Fold, it was a joke how much of a small area you had with the keyboard to type efficiently on, because it just wasn't efficient. Galaxy Z Fold 8 gives you that extra bit of width to have a proper sized keyboard that makes the typing experience a lot more comfortable. The cover screen of the original Fold, it was really a waste of time to do anything but convenience things on the cover screen of the Fold. Checking notifications, briefly checking social media. The second you need to do anything more serious, you had to open it. It was just part of what Samsung were trying to condition you to do. But there is something satisfying about opening the original Fold and snapping that hinge into place, even now, all these years later. That inner display was very much a first gen, or even second gen because of the recall, folding screen. The crease is very visible. The corner notch, which apparently was required to fasten the layers of the display into place properly so they didn't move, were very evident and very, very present. But opening both phones up, this is where you actually start to get a bit close again. The OG Fold, when you rotated it into landscape, is near enough the exact same footprint as the Fold 8 where we are now. It's like Samsung were onto something. They knew that the aspect ratio of that screen was perfect for a folding phone. But as time went on and as people were using it, they clamored for a bigger display. And at the time, smartphones were in that tall, narrowish aspect ratio, so the folds had to try and match that. The two inner displays are actually very similar. It's just the technology of how they perform has changed. The corner notch has gone in favor of a punch hole. That corner notch, I'm not sure what Samsung were thinking and then why they think that looked good, but it never did. And well, thankfully it's gone. And the crease, thanks to advancements in the display layers that Samsung have developed for this fold, is virtually non-existent. It's still there because it's a screen that folds and there will always be something, but it is a lot better and it has progressed very sharply in the last 2 years or so. But the similarities for this is when you're watching content on both of them, especially when you rotate the original fold into its landscape view. It pretty much matches the aspect that you get on the Fold 8 that you have now. The only difference with the Fold 8, you open it and it's at that aspect. With the Fold original, you've got to rotate. A lot of that is down to the fact that the width of the Fold 8 matches more enough or a little bit bigger than the height of the original Fold when they're both open. There's obviously other improvements too, like brightness of the display, 120 hertz, all that sort of stuff obviously comes with the territory of having a newer form factor, but we're comparing design and sort of practicality as opposed to just pure function and specs. And we're going to see that when we move on to the cameras. The Fold 8 has got a dual 50 megapixel camera setup, a 50 megapixel ultra wide and a 50 megapixel main camera. Versus the triple setup that you get on the original Fold, which was a 16 megapixel ultra wide and 12 megapixel main and a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto. Now you might think a triple camera setup is better, but in this instance, it's just not. The two cameras on the Fold 8 comfortably account for the three cameras on the Fold original, and that's just because the high resolution main camera is a better sensor than both the main and the 2x combined on the original Fold. So I really don't think it's a fair comparison here to do a camera output test. So you know what? I'm just not going to do it. Whilst the hardware of the sensors are different, the software experience largely similar. No flex mode means that the Fold 8 doesn't actually have a competitive advantage over the Fold when it comes to form factor. There is a little bit, right? So they both have rear cam selfie. Rear cam selfie being the fact that instead of using the selfie camera on the front, you can press a button, open the phone up, cameras are pointing at you, and you get the preview at the same time, and you get to take a selfie using the better main camera. Original Fold had it, Z Fold 8 has got it as well. Great thing is with the Z Fold 8 versus the original Fold is the cover screen preview that you get is a lot bigger because the aspect ratio suits it a lot more. And of course, you have the width to go with it, so you can frame yourself up better. Both phones have cover screen preview, where you can turn on the cover screen with the rear cameras open, so the person that's being recorded or having their photo taken can see themselves and preview. Again, looks better on the Fold 8 than it does on the original Fold thanks to that bigger screen. Both phones also have the feature where you can have capture view mode, where you can have the inner display be taken advantage of and have the left side for reviewing the photo and the right side for preview. Both phones have it. Again, the original Fold with its taller aspect ratio when it's open isn't as conducive as what the Fold 8 is, but of course you can rotate the original Fold into that same format and you get pretty much the same experience. The big software differences come from the features Samsung have added over time, thanks to the improved hardware of the chips and also the sensors, and something that the original Fold would just never get. And if you're using an OG Fold right now, well, what are you doing? But in terms of versatility of a foldable with its camera experience, they actually are very similar, and both can give you very similar, I guess, flexibility in that sense. There is one interesting thing that I noted though, and I've noted it in my other videos I've done so far, is that the orientation of the phones give you a bit of a mind trickery when you're trying to take your photos or videos. When you hold the Fold 8, when it's open in landscape, which is its natural state once you unfold it, the cameras don't match the orientation of the phone. When you've got it held open in landscape, the cameras are actually vertical. When you've got it in portrait orientation, the cameras are horizontal. And it kind of plays with your head a little bit because of the fact that you'd think it would be the other way around, but the orientation of the cameras means that it's just not the case. The original Fold is conventional because, again, it's held up in portrait orientation when it's unfolded and it matches the orientation of the cameras. Weird. Then there's phone software. And I guess, again, you've added features over time and there's so many things that have been brought in that the original Fold just can't match up. But where it started is actually not too far away from where we are now with the Fold 8. The original Fold had multitasking straight out of the box. You could have 3-app multitasking with fixed locations. Over time, Samsung allowed you to move those apps around and create different sort of fields where they could sit in, and that was great. Samsung added features like the taskbar over time too, because of course the taskbar got introduced with newer foldables, so the original Fold got access to it as well. And from the beginning, it had app continuity, meaning you could launch an app on the cover screen and then unfold it directly to that point on the inner display without missing a beat. The Fold 8 with oneui 9 has certainly added a bit more polish to the software. And that's just down to the fact Samsung have brought more polish in with the newer versions of oneui. But the foldable stuff that we started with is still here, albeit with a fresh coat of paint on some of it. There is something though that the Fold 8 has unique about it, and that's because it's a wider form factor. It can do 3-app multitasking side by side. So rather than just the 2 apps or the 3 apps in weird orientations, you can have them skinny next to each other and interact with all of them. But all that other stuff is there. The cover screen continuity, going from cover screen to inner display, there. Taskbar, although it has been changed a little bit so you can have it as a floating taskbar, still there. Functions the same in that way as well. And there's other things too where you can actually mirror the cover screen on the inner displays so you can have it basically be the same setup on cover and inside. Or you don't have to have it like that if you don't want to as well. Overall, if Samsung had just turned the original Fold on its side and then folded it that way, you'd have the Fold 8 7 years ago. Who knows by now what the shape or the size of the Fold 8 would be and what the capabilities it would have if Samsung started with that form factor then and then moved way through. And the thing is, it's not as if Samsung didn't have the idea. 13 years ago at CES, Samsung actually teased that exact passport wallet style form factor on stage, albeit it was through a very corny ad, but the point being was that exact size and that exact style was already in front of mind for Samsung. They ended up starting somewhere different, but they've effectively just gone back to their roots of where the idea started from and brought it out before Apple did. But the original Fold still has a place. Because of the fact it started and has got us to where we are now, we have to appreciate and respect it, even if it doesn't look like a phone that belongs in any form of smartphone era. It's kind of a one of a kind. Anyways, hit subscribe whilst you're down in the comments discussing all of this. Make sure you do that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You.